having my own online business, it gives me more free time. I have more time to spend with my family.
What I love about this business is that when I started this, I don't have any online experience. I'm not a tech savvy at all. I don't even know how to use a laptop that time. But with the help of our business community, a coach and a mentor was assigned for me, and with the help of our constantly updating training, which is very easy to follow, I was able to set up and start my own digital business.
I decided to become an online entrepreneur so I can run the business anytime, anywhere I want, without compromising the quality time I was spending with
For the
family.
past 5 years, I was an office receptionist and I am now a pro digital business owner.
So today I can say that I found it through this digital business. Come join me.
And now I am successfully running it, and I'm so happy that I'm earning extra income while doing it part-time. You too can do it. Check it out.
So if you guys are interested or want to be a part of this wonderful community, check us out.
All right, y'all. So when the White House defended repealing the DACA executive order, Sarah Huckabee went to the podium and repeated the Stephen Miller line of just how devastating this is. These illegal immigrants are to black people. So I want to play this. This is what she said from the White House podium.
I think that it's a known fact that there are over 4 million unemployed Americans in the same age group as those that are DACA recipients, that over 950,000 of those are African American in the same age group, over 870,000 unemployed Hispanics in the same age group. Those are large groups of people that are unemployed that could possibly have those jobs.
Oh, the White House, they're saying we care about black people now. That's what they've been saying. And so on this issue of illegal immigration, look, when I had my radio show on WVON in Chicago, whenever immigration came up, a lot of black folks call in saying, we're losing our jobs because of this. Well, is there actual facts to that? And so I said, let's book a man, Bill Spriggs, Dr. Bill Spriggs, of course, a professor of economics, Howard University, also chief economist for the AFL-CIO. So Bill, on that point, let's start with DACA first. The White House says, here are all these people who don't have jobs in the same age group as the folks in DACA, and look at all the black people who don't have jobs. And Stephen Miller...
I mean, but we ain't had jobs for like 400 years.
What say you?
I mean,
well,
you know what I mean?
To be clear on the historical facts. The big downturn for the black labor market occurred in the 1980s, in the early 1980s. So when the 1980s started, if you were a...
Check out Uncle Fester. He finna lie to you royally. We already see that he is flying a Confederate flag, and he's short a couple of rooms upstairs. And we already see that he probably has got an interracial marriage or something, and he just... I mean, he the latest. He Mr. Blk On Blk. So, you know, you ain't gonna get nothing out of him but a bunch of lies. So let's hear him lie to us. Look at
Mr.
Blackface.
You had a college degree. You had the unemployment rate of white college-educated men, and you had the same earnings. But under Ronald Reagan, who undercut affirmative action and made clear he wasn't going to enforce it, the gap in unemployment for blacks reappeared, and by the end of his presidency, you were black. Had nothing to do with you went to college.
He said overpopulation ain't got nothing to do with it. So he's saying that if it was a piece of steak on the ground and it was two people after that steak and they split it in half, you know, that don't got nothing to do with it. But if it's 10 motherfuckers after that same, 10 people after that same steak, and they all cut it up, then it ain't no problem. That's more for everybody, right? Now, do that make any sense? It was only one damn steak, right? There's only so many jobs in America. And then you keep inviting people over here and giving them first priority to the job, and then they already educated from where they come from. Why don't they use their education in their own country? Why don't they use all of their skills that they talking about, how motherfucking brilliant they is in their own damn country? Why? Because America is their country, because black people don't have a country. That's what this is all about. This is all about isolating black people all the way back to the plantation, economic isolation.
Finished high school, you were black. Blacks also lost the largest share of union jobs during the 1980s. So that downturn had nothing to do.
They didn't lose no union jobs. They invited all these new people over here and gave their jobs to those people, because they show you what integration, what they thought about integrating with black people. Nigga, not only don't they want to give you a job, they don't want to live around you. If you come around, they going to move out your neighborhood. They're going to do whatever it takes to get the fuck, to stay away and isolate away from black people. So that's a damn lie talking about, oh, this man made up this law, so that's why y'all can't get a job. You a damn lie. Reagan ain't had shit to do with it. It was overpopulation. Like I said, if you got one stake on the ground and you got 20 people, it ain't enough to go around. You already gave all the jobs away. So all these people going to college looking for a job, they ain't gonna get one. Why? Because these people is lying to you, and they already gave them all away secretly on the under. And that's what this sellout ass Coon is talking about.
Had nothing to do with immigration.
But he ain't telling you it.
The 1990s, when we had the biggest wave of immigration, black unemployment went to record lows, black income reached record highs. We've never had black unemployment lower for longer at the end of the 1990s, or black income as high as it was at the end of the 1990s. So just as a historical fact, just a basic fact check, you can't line up the history of immigration in the late 20th century with the economic history of advancement for black people. So they don't line up.
You just heard him lying straight out his teeth, right? Because most of the money the black folks was making in the hood was coming from drugs in the 80s and the 90s. Remember? The crack epidemic and all that. So we wasn't even thinking about going to college. We wasn't thinking about all of this job stuff he talking about. While all the immigrants was coming to Russia, overpopulating the country, they was taking all the jobs. Most of the black folks was selling drugs and shit. They had become in a drug culture or was trapped in the prison industry. So he lying again. They was excluded. They did not. He a damn lie.
So how do you deal though with this perception?
Most of the population of these universities and these high-tech jobs is from Asia, not from no damn the hood in America. Nigga, not ain't from New Jack City, the boys in the hood. Nigga, they from Chinatown and India. Camilla Harris folks, people.
From African Americans who say, oh, when I look at people who are cutting grass or who are doing construction in various neighborhoods, black folks used to have those jobs. Now they are Latino. They say you go into fast food restaurants and you'll see all Latinos working in a fast food restaurant when you used to see African Americans. And so that's what I hear from people, and that's really what the White House is saying.
Yeah, but let's be clear what DOC is about. These are people who are going on to college, who are joining the military. So these are not people trying to scrub floors. They're not trying to be at a fast food restaurant. And there's a reality that the economy can't grow without population growth. So part of the reason it's difficult to disentangle the effects of immigrants on job opportunities is that their actual presence creates job opportunities. You don't have people grow, you don't have population grow, you don't have
economy? Prison economy?
You're saying that there's no displacement of jobs
economy?
between 81,000 people and another minority group who possibly could have these jobs. And we know sitting here that black women have one of the highest percentage of advanced degrees in the country. Is there any,
What economy? The prison economy?
Isn't the case.
You hear this lying ass
That they're not
Sambo?
When you look at where they land, where
Why do the black people have to
not
put up
everywhere
with
in the United
Sambos
States,
like
it
this?
doesn't map onto where black people live.
Who voted for this black on
In
black?
comparison to where are immigrants and where they aren't, you see one thing in common. America loves to discriminate against black people.
He even look gay. He don't even look like he even like himself, women.
We act like, oh, if
Look
Hispanics
at him.
were there, they would hire us. No, if Hispanics
He might be married to a white man.
the discrimination is real.
Look at him.
As much as I know that Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon are weasels, and we know why they're pushing this.
And we know this one sitting next to this lady in the red. We know he married to a white man.
This has been studied for
Him and the other one, they both gay, dude.
Carefully, and
You better look at 'em.
Detect the relationship.
They're full of
And
self-hate.
again, because you
They hate their
have
mama.
areas where there's been lots of migration, and you have areas where there's been very little migration, and you can't see a difference.
And then you have
in
Washington,
what-
D.C., where it's very hard to find a black person cutting grass or doing construction.
Yeah, but
Bill, finish that point. I'm going to go to Eugene.
okay, but there are separate issues here.
What is he talking about
H2B
cutting grass and doing
visas.
construction? I used to cut grass and do construction. See, they full of damn shit. They gonna tell me that, oh, you know what? You're too damn educated, or you're too egotistical to get a job like this. Who is that faggot to tell me anything? And yeah, I called him a faggot because that's the way he acted. That old faggot can't tell me nothing.
Which are used very often
Right.
in the lawn care industry. That's not immigrants. That's a temporary work visa designed
Oh, no.
especially for employers.
A
Just
temporary
like the
work
H-1B
visa.
is designed especially.
So if I go to Home Depot and I pick up me 3 Mexicans, all of a sudden they got a temporary work visa. You heard that shit? Do y'all hear this bullshit?
employers to make a distortion in the marketplace for wages and who will get hired. So at the beginning of this century, when we decided we were going to bring in hundreds of thousands of computer programmers, the share of all Americans who majored in computer science went down because they were responding to the fact that the wages of computer programmers stopped going up, and employers preferred to use a captive set of workers held under a temporary work visa. You have to differentiate
He
between
just said they didn't, even if you graduated and was qualified, if you was from America, nigga, they boycotted you. They didn't hire you. Just like how Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks boycotted their damn bus. Well, the damn employers in America boycotted black people. I wouldn't give a damn if you was a woman. They boycotted you. And that's what he just said, but he didn't say it. He's trying to play it off like he didn't say that. They was on, just like how you see them construction workers now. Nigga, if you come across the border, 5 minutes later, you got a job. But nigga, if you from America, you gonna be homeless. That's this black on black is doing to America, man. Overpopulation and black on black.
Sarah Huckabee went to the podium and repeated the Stephen Miller line of just how devastating this is. These illegal immigrants are to black people. So I want to play this. This is what she said from the White House podium.
I think that it's a known fact that there are over 4 million unemployed.
to discriminate against black people.
Right.
So when you say we don't get a job, it doesn't make it, I mean, we act like, oh, if Hispanics weren't there, they would hire us. No, if Hispanics weren't there, they still wouldn't hire you.
We hear this argument,
The
we never...
discrimination is real.
But when we hear this
Discrimination
argument,
is
as
real.
much as I know that Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon are weasels, and we know why they're pushing this argument, I never hear any factual proof
No,
that would indicate that they're wrong.
This has been studied forever. Economists have looked at this carefully, and you cannot detect the relationship. And again, because you have areas where there's been lots of migration, and you have areas where there's been very little migration, and you can't see a difference.
And then you have Washington, D.C., where it's very hard to find a black person cutting grass or doing construction.
Yeah, but
Bill, finish that point. I'm going to Eugene.
Okay, but there are separate issues here. H-2B visas, which are used very often in the lawn care industry, that's not immigrants. That's a temporary work visa designed especially for employers. Just like the H-1B visa is...
So if they're not an immigrant, what the fuck is they doing in the country then? What the fuck are they doing with a job? What the fuck you mean it's not an immigrant? How the fuck you gonna come over here undocumented, and then you give them this piece of paper, and now they legally not an immigrant, but yet they is an immigrant, but they ain't got no fucking citizenship. You hear that retarded ass dude?
Designed especially for employers to make a distortion in the marketplace.
They just make up shit as they go, man.
So at the beginning of this century, when we decided we were going to bring in hundreds of thousands of computer programmers, the share of all Americans who majored in computer science went down because they were responding to the fact that the wages of computer programmers stopped going up, and employers preferred to use a captive set of workers held under a temporary work visa. You have to differentiate between workers who are free to move about, and this is why DACA is so bad. Ending DACA is so bad because you remove the mobility of these workers. As long as workers are free to move around,
Eugene,
it works.
A couple points. Dr. Spriggs is absolutely correct. You know, at least from the economists the reports that I've read that's come out of Cato, AEI, when you...
I told you he was gay. Listen to him.
We have immigration. We have an inward flow of immigration. You get a boost in GDP. You get a boost in local economies. You get a boost in new businesses, new jobs.
Obama voted for him.
Secondly, for the local economy. For the local economy. You know, a gentleman that starts as business X, Y, and Z isn't just...
I hope he ain't running shit for black people, because if he is, nigga, that's part of the problem. And that motherfucker don't speak for me.
Isn't just serving a particular actor, you're going to serve the local economy.
Ralph?
One thing that we have completely glossed over is we need to talk about the difference between illegal and legal immigrants. That's the first thing. And now when you listen to what Sarah Huckabee said, she made a broad statement about there are 4.5 million Americans who are unemployed in the same age group.
Right.
And then she broke it down to 950,000 black people, 800,000 Hispanics. So it's not just that, for me, it's not just about the 950,000 black people. It's about the 4.5 million total Americans who are out of the workforce.
But see, for me, on the Black Network, on the Black Show, it's about the 900.
But where'd they get them other new people from? Where'd they get all them extra people from? Nigga, they just imported them. They manufactured them. They brought them here illegally. That's where they got them from. But they ain't addressing that issue. Where did they get all them extra people from?
950,000. Because see, on every other network, they know the 950,000 and focus on everybody else.
Well, but that 1 million black people is included in that.
No. But the reason I wanted to, I said we were going to have this conversation, and because when this issue of illegal immigration or documented workers comes up, and again, when I had the radio show, if I got 10 callers, 9.5 were calling saying, send them back, they're taking our jobs. And so I said, no, we need to have a black conversation. Are the facts there to bear that out when people say, oh, okay, so all of a sudden, if you send DACA folks, if you repeal this, are black folks going to get those jobs? If in other jobs, that's why. One second. Bill, go ahead.
Further to the point, if you take what he is doing right now and freezing that consumer market, because if I don't know I'm going to get deported, I'm not buying cars, I'm not making the investments,
Yeah.
Those are jobs. You're taking money out of the economy. You're freezing the economy. So if you send them back home, it doesn't replace the demand for those workers. So it's not like, oh, I sent 800,000 people home. They have money. They contribute to the, again,
How do we know that?
we know that because we know areas where immigrants went and where.
How the fuck you mean they got money? If they got money, what the fuck they doing here then? You hear this bitch lying ass faggot?
They didn't go. It is not uniform. If you look.
If they got money, what the fuck they doing here? You hear this dude, he don't make sense, he retarded. Who the hell is voting for these type of people?
Get a map of the United States and look at where Hispanic immigrants went, and you look at where black people.
And I ain't got nothing against Asians, Hispanics, or nothing. I got some against these black on black people that's selling the black people out. You know what I mean? Because I expect the Asians and the Hispanic people to do what they got to do because, nigga, don't nobody even know they doing it. But this clown to get up here and say he it's cool. He don't even know what the fuck they doing is. Then what the fuck is he doing here? If he don't know shit either, if don't nobody know nothing, what the fuck is he talking for? Who gave him his job?
People live, they don't map one-on-one.
Okay, so here, so here we go.
So that variation allows.
Because he damn sure can't research a damn thing for me.
In economies where immigrants didn't go, and you know what? We still got unemployed because discrimination is real.
Hold tight. So no, hold on. Here's good. I gotta go to break. Here's what I want to do. All right. So since you teach
What
at
is
the
he
house,
pounding all on the damn
let me
desk
know
for?
Monday or Tuesday when we.
I don't believe a motherfucking thing you just said, dude. What is you pounding all on your desk for? I still don't believe a motherfucking thing you said. And you better be lucky that you ain't around no black people talking that shit, cause you damn sure, motherfucker, you wouldn't make it.
We go 2 hours, okay, y'all. We go 2 hours beginning on Monday. So I want you to
take your ass back to the police force and stop bullshitting, dude.
I want to see some charts. I want to put it up on the monitor, and I want you to walk us through that so people at home can actually see what you're talking about, and we can actually show them. All right, so let's do that. So we'll do actually 2 segments on it. So we actually walk folks through that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you get to have the largest class you've ever taught at one time on Monday. All right.
Shit.
So, okay, I appreciate it.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
Through these questions, having a discussion, we gonna try to flesh this thing out. I want to be productive, but this all comes out of, Lovey, Issa Rae, I believe a girl named Seals or something, Amanda Seals, a whole group of people who have commandeered, in a way, African Americanness and African American DOS culture, and I believe in all the wrong ways. We're gonna go through some questions. Number one, will Black Americans DOS have to draw new lines of engagement with newer immigrants? Number two, is there a real problem with the tweets by Lovey Ajayi on black culture as a Yoruba Nigerian? We'll get to that. Your thoughts on Lovey's article, Blackness, and what it really missed about what our whole critique. This is bigger than just Tevin Campbell. This is a whole statement about mimicking and buffooning African American culture. And I think that everybody that really doesn't see that, really doesn't understand our place in this country. This isn't just, Tevin Campbell is a flashpoint of a larger set of issues. Would you agree, Yvette? I'm going to keep going with the question.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Number four, does it change the allyship if, as pointed out by Henry Louis Gates, 90% of the slaves sold by blacks were sold by blacks, and the people here, maybe they're descendants. This doesn't come from anywhere. This comes from Henry Louis Gates, New York Times article, and it also connects to a New Yorker article entitled "My Great Grandfather was a Nigerian Slave Trader," where it details slave trading by Nigerians. Amanda Seals spoke to fluidity of gender and constructs dissolving. Are we there yet if we live in a world where black men are largely the most incarcerated in modern history? Number six, African Americans are more than just Africans in America. There was an article on Madame Noir, and I want to kind of deal with that. Just came out today. Lovey, you are a guest of African American culture. Act accordingly. While I agree in somewhat with the title, I believe that even the author of that article misses the point. Yvette, I just want to get your general opinion on this, just right off the top.
Well, I think it's a conversation, something that should have happened a long time ago, right? And there's a reason why it didn't happen a long time ago. A lot of people have been playing a lot of games, and I don't know what the construct of that is, or the involvement of everybody, or how this thing is situated. But this idea that we have some type of automatic unity and solidarity based on like skin color or melanin has never been like a true solidarity. You know, African countries don't even have solidarity on the continent of those 54 countries. So this idea, and I think what you're seeing is that. I think you're seeing that. I think you're seeing the manifestation of that. I think you're seeing people who kind of mimic us and come in here and get to know the culture and then just kind of want to use that to advantage their own selves individually. There's a lot going on here.
Let me say this, because I ain't got